Here we go!
Get that last no-scope kill and hit pause. It's time for the video game podcast where the Konami code is alive and well. The console wars don't exist. Rings are just as valuable as coins. Pots are not safe from swords. Giant robots kick ass. And fireballs are a perfectly acceptable weapon in a fist fight. That's right, it's time for the Super Gamer Bros Podcast Ultra Hyper Alpha Super EX Double Impact Plus A Live. Settle in and let's get to gaming.
Hey everyone, it's Thursday, which means it is time for Super Gamer Bros Live. I like live.
Live.
Not
Stick it-
dead.
stick it there
The
at the
opposite
Not
of
dead,
dead.
not stick in the muds. Super Gamer Bros Ultra Hyper Alpha Ultra EX Plus A Impact Live. Like, I love our name because it makes fun of so many things, especially Street Fighter.
Mostly Street Fighter.
Yeah, mostly Street Fighter. Because
Heavily
it's so easy.
towards Street Fighter.
I mean, I can't even tell you what they do. It's like
Money.
Ultra Impact Plus A.
It's the printing money. It's hey, maybe the kids think, hey, we were stupid as kids, so we were like, hey, this is the tournament edition. What do they have in there? Oh, it's maybe slightly faster. Oh, well, what now? There's the championship edition. Okay, what's that got? Oh, it actually has some bosses in there. Okay, but it's not a straight up sequel, but you'll pay top dollar for that game. So yeah, Street Fighter, the original free to play, I guess.
Yeah, so
No,
I'm one of
it
these
was
gamers.
every
Slate.
game was
You
it.
can find me on Xbox Live as Slate. And I'm joined as usual with my fun co-hosts.
Hello, this is Cynic. You can find me as Henzar on Xbox and PlayStation 4, as Cynic on the Nintendo Switch.
You can find me as Cassie on the Nintendo Switch when I get my final thing, mine own, and Neo Nerd Lady on Xbox Live, and Pocky D on Steam, and
Yeah.
also on almost everything else.
All
Poppy
right.
has his figures in all the gaming platforms. I don't ever remember my Switch because nobody plays online except a couple of my friends. We just visit each other's islands. Like, I hate the Switch online system. Love the
Well,
Switch.
love the Switch. Which,
I-
by the way, they added Donkey Kong Country 2 the other week, by the way. So I was freaking out about that. Like Donkey Kong Country 1 was a big surprise. I didn't know if they'd go that route. Donkey Kong Country 2, oh my god, I was so happy. I was a happy boy.
Well,
I actually do like the some of the multiplayer games on the Switch, but mostly all the ones that are like the quick in and out ones, like the Tetris and the Mario 35, because the multiplayer on that one is really fast.
yeah, they have great multiplayer games. Their online
the
service sucks.
games that have the built-in multiplayer system already worked into it are actually, I mean, they function really well. Like Overwatch is a really good example of something you can jump into, and they actually have everything in game kind of worked out. The Switch itself needs some work.
That's
Oh yeah,
interesting.
totally. Yeah, we
So-
yeah.
Welcome to today's show. We have a topic we're going to really be discussing with you guys.
We're going to
Because we're going
beat
to now
to the ground.
start doing more live videos to Facebook throughout the week and just focusing on a topic based on News Story Thursdays for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to go game stream. Something we always talk about doing, but something always comes through usually on my part because I'm either asleep or I forget because I have goldfish memory. Like, I will forget yesterday half the time. So we're going to be jumping on right after the show to Twitch. And today we're going to be playing Grounded since Pocky's PC players all cross-platform play. He's got to kind of catch up with us on Games Pass. So we'll be playing Grounded after the show. But now, this came out today. Like a couple days ago, there was the deal that Microsoft made with GameStop about using the Microsoft Cloud framework and things like that to help GameStop be a better store. And then they discovered today that part of that, we just casually mentioned, and we had talked about how is GameStop going to survive the next gen way things are going to be.
Yeah.
They will get a percentage of all digital game purchases on Xboxes sold through their stores and online.
Which I don't know how they pulled that deal off. It's baffling to me.
It's like they're clawing right now. Like that, they probably said, "Okay, well, we're a dying store. They should never have merged with GameStop and made it GameStop only. They should have kept it thinking." But dude,
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know how they have the kind of clout to make a deal like that at this point, because they were really struggling. They were really having a good time. Like, who at GameStop had the balls to go, hey, you know what'd be great? Xbox is gonna have to give us a percentage. You owe us. Like, no, you don't owe them jack. who at Xbox said it?
Of that big.
I mean, they had to have something to offer.
Okay.
Something.
two things.
What is this? Let's go.
Two. First off, no, this is brilliant, and I have a feeling I know who may figuring out who may be involved in this. First off, do you know who the president of GameStop currently is?
Oh, Regis Fils-Aimé.
It's Reggie, the man who
Now
made
it's making a
Nintendo.
little more sense.
Right. What do you think? GameStop went to Microsoft and says, how would you like it if we made sure we promoted your product over everything else? Give us a slice of the pie, and everything we sell will be toward the Xbox. You'll have the biggest displays, you'll have all the midnight releases, you'll have everything. Part of the deal will be, and that's what
I
I'm
agree
thinking.
with that.
I mean,
to a point.
I can see that to a point, but again, GameStop was dying.
They were done.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so
So what's that
pretty sure
promotion worth?
they added it
nowadays?
onto their contract they did now with them to switch over their entire like cloud infrastructure so that the stores can talk to each other better. You're right. Reggie's probably went Microsoft. How about
No. Oh, we forgot a news story that happened back in, was it April? Or no,
Which
or was
was?
it last year? GameStop announced that they were going to turn some of their games to gaming cafes with PC. And now they've all of a sudden did this deal where if we sell part of your product, we get a slice of the pie. If they're having the cafes, if they're doing LAN and Xbox tournaments in their buildings, in their stores, well, look at like Magic the Gathering stuff. The greatest way they sell those cards is they have the tournaments in the store. Right, and they do it, and the biggest sales always happen on Friday nights when they do Friday Night Magic.
Wow.
If you're doing a tournament,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because now they become Xbox outlets.
And since Xbox is doing PC and a console and mobile, then all of a sudden,
I don't know whether to say this is the most genius thing for a dying ripoff company ever.
Well, time will tell. It's definitely a good way to survive, since on their own, the live stores, the PlayStation stores, the Xbox stores, Steam, they all run their own deals. I have only been buying things through their stores, especially when they have good deals. And the whole point of GameStop was that, hey, you get a good deal, it's used, but that's why we're able to knock off $5-10 or whatever.
It was like $5 off.
Yeah, well, it's for the brand new games. It really depended. But some games certainly did lose a ton of their value, and you had $5 games. 25 cents, I think, was like the lowest game on there that nobody bought.
That must be like a stellar game there for a quarter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and they probably paid 5 cents. They tried to make some money off this thing. But I mean, I worked at GameStop for a long time, and I'm surprised to see how they survived this long in this kind of digital storefront environment. I'm really impressed. And actually, whenever I do go into GameStop and I see the swag that they have, so like the T-shirts, the pops, the toys, I'm always tempted to go, you know what? Do I want this $120 Dragon Ball Z statue? Yes, I do. I'm not going to get it, but man, do I want it. So they've got stuff in there that I want. They're still a hub for games and nerddom, and I'm really glad that they branched off and started doing other things. But to get a piece of everything that Xbox is going to be selling digitally, that's really seems
consoles they sell. How are they going to track this?
It seems very absurdly generous of Microsoft to do this, and I mean, it's. I'm wondering exactly. Like, I feel like. I feel like this is almost Microsoft giving a handout and going, you know what? Fine. Yeah, here you go. We'll keep you afloat for a while. You're going to have to do our bidding pretty much from now on. But here you go. I I certainly would like if GameStop stayed afloat. There's at least, as far as employees go, I mean, it's a pretty decently big employer. You've at least got 2 to 3 employees per store at least. Yeah, some work on a pretty minimal staff. So I hope they stay afloat. And I hope they can flourish and be more than what they are now, which is a dying storefront. So obviously this will save them
Pocky
for a little while.
hit it on the head. They're remodeling these stores to be like top play stores.
Yeah.
And, if you could capitalize that, because that's all over the place. Like, there really isn't a store like GameStop. There's a bunch of retro game stores like Game Over Video Games. Those are always local. But you
Yeah.
have a national video game store that's going to remodel, put in gaming areas. There's your place to go to have exclusive first looks. Here's your place to go to have tournaments. Because you could have tournaments with people here playing, people in Las Vegas playing. They could all be streaming it together because how easy it is to stream.
Yeah.
They could be doing major events within these stores. And then second part of that I find weird about this, they didn't say how much the digital sales are. And yes, it is based on consoles they sell, which means they have to have consoles to sell. But does this include anything from Games Pass? Because that is Xbox's number one thing. You could buy things through Games Pass at a discount already.
Yeah.
But, does
what
this
happens?
Pass?
So
Are they giving a lifeline to GameStop with Games Pass saying, here, you get like a nickel per every Games Pass customer? Because technically that's a digital purchase.
Yeah.
So my thought is it's all those cards. Like, you're asking how they would do it, and a lot of those cards where people like, oh, I want to buy the digital copy of Halo, or the Halo Master Chief Edition, and so they give you this plastic card and you scratch it off and you enter the number and you're done. And I think that's what they're doing, is they're going to be looking at it through that. I think it's also, they're probably, if they're scanning the systems to register the codes, like, hey, this is the store that's sold this game system, then yeah, they can easily track where it is, as long as you're not doing something ridiculous, like I guess buying an Xbox in like Oklahoma and then you go down to Austin, Texas to like plug it in. They can track where you're kind of going pretty easily. I mean, hey,
well, now each
this
system
person lives in Leander.
has a serial code, and I know you scan it when they get checked out.
Yeah.
But if you buy it from GameStop online, do they scan it there and assign it to you there? Like, I don't know how it works when you mail order things, but I remember in the stores you had to scan the barcode, you had to scan the serial number, and sometimes a third number. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what they're probably going to be doing. I mean, the other thing is, since a lot of these, we're talking about Xbox too. So Xbox also has a subscription model for their systems. That whole $25, $30 a month, the All Access pass. Well, you're going to register where you bought that from, so they already know where you're getting it from. So those are going to be really easy, and I think that's what they're really banking on. Part of it is the people who are willing to spend $25 to $35 a month on a system.
I think that's some of this new money that they're going to be getting in. If they're going to turn it into like the gaming store where you can come and actually game live and have events and stuff like that, they're going to have a major overhaul. And I think that it can't just be percentages from these games that saves GameStop. They really have to invest their money into overhauling and promoting and marketing this place as a good place to hang out. And that's going to be pretty hard to do pre-COVID. It has to be like a post-COVID world that I think they survive in to be a live gaming company. So I mean, we're still we're only a month away from the release of the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to sit back and look forward to more announcements to see what more goes on with GameStop after this, because I mean this is a huge announcement. And I think it's as big as it is weird, but just because I feel like now these are going to be secondary Microsoft stores. But
maybe that's what Microsoft is looking at.
well,
Why?
but Microsoft has also been playing nice with every other game company out there, wanting to do cross-platform and stuff like that, trying to make everything more accessible as far as their games go. So, yeah, who knows what it's going to turn into?
I know that they had already started to remodel some of the stores, and you may have to go back and watch the episode. We showed some pictures of it. They're pretty nice, but they need bigger spaces. The ones they've remodeled are the ones that are completely merged with the Think Geek, and it's like a 2-level thing or just a giant store. Like there's a Think Geek store here at the mall that would probably work, and that's probably what they'll do. Is they'll do like each city has a hub, and then all the other GameStops kind of stay the same.
The Arboretum kind of thing. Yeah.
And then the other weird thing I thought about is, what if you sell your system? Then technically GameStop didn't sell that system to that person. Are they still making money off of that? Like, this is a forever questionable thing, because GameStop thrived on the resale market.
Yeah.
So if I sell my system to Pocky, then Pocky buys games. GameStop's making money off of it still. But, you know, it's one of those, for so long, GameStop cut off the game developers and game publishers and makers with that after sale market, and then they fucked themselves basically.
Yeah, they pissed off a lot of people. Yeah, they pissed off a lot of people doing that, and I mean, I could see why the argument for cutting out everybody would be, because hey, this is we're just selling used stuff, you know. Why does the developer have to have a piece of this at all? So, I mean, it makes sense legally, but yeah, they definitely didn't make any friends by building this huge company around it and kind of keeping everything to themselves when it comes to that.
I would be really surprised if we don't hear Nintendo making the same deal. I mean, Nintendo's already making deals, is already really good friends with Microsoft. Look at the newest Smash Brothers character announcement.
Yeah.
And Reggie Afune being former Nintendo, CEO, I think, a Nintendo America CEO, and he still has a lot of friends there. And him and Bowser were apparently really good friends also. I could see where all of a sudden everyone but Sony, well, it's like Sony always seems to be doing, will be like, hey, we'll give you a little bit of money to promote our product. And Nintendo is guaranteed money. Nintendo is if Nintendo released Mario, oh wait, they did, all the classic 3D Mario games for $60, then it's you're going to sell 1 million copies of those things. And if Microsoft and if GameStop got an extra 30 cents a copy of that game at 1 million copies, that's not small change.
It would have to be different for Nintendo, because Nintendo doesn't thrive in a digital market because it's just got the SD card. Nintendo's thriving in the physical copy market. Yeah. And so I think if they were to make a deal with that, it would have to be physical copies, which Nintendo could just rake over hands over fist. Yeah. Whereas Xbox, PlayStation, they're really going to that digital marketplace, which is perfectly fine, because they have hard drives and they're ready for it. Nintendo's not quite ready for that. So I think if they were to do the same type of deal, it would have to be off physical copies. But then again, where do you draw the line? If someone resells their copy of Mario back to GameStop and they resell it, are they making money off of that one still? I mean, there's the whole resale aspect of things, of selling a console to games. I don't know how it works with this kind of setup.
I think with this one particularly, I think that's what they will have to do. I think GameStop is particularly going to have to play nice for once and actually let people to have a little bit of, because what is it? It's like a 65% profit margin on most of their games because they had to pay for the game back.
Well, but we see how far it took them. They were almost in bankruptcy.
Nintendo titles, and they're all going to sell. There's a rumor floating around that was Pokemon Red and Green for the Game Boy are getting remastered for the Switch.
I don't care. They already
But
did
no,
that
no.
like months ago.
They kind of, yeah, wasn't that that they kind of did that with Pikachu and Eevee?
Yeah.
Right, but if they, but what I'm saying
This
is,
is the problem
if
with
they,
Nintendo.
well, what I'm
Like,
saying
they'll
is, if
remaster
Nintendo,
anything and re-release it to you, and people will buy it. And Nintendo up a lot of things. But
Also, I really wanted those games, by the way. I really did. I just they haven't changed their price for that since they've been released. So it ain't happening.
Nintendo never changes their prices. Look at Mario Odyssey. That was like a launch title, and it's still $60.
yeah, a little bit of Nintendo's like, oh, Nintendo's having a sale on these great games, and there's never a Nintendo game on that list.
Point because like it hadn't taught teaching games how to play it, and it smelled it smelled clean, and yeah, I mean the problem is they're still full. So I call GameStop, by the way, the geek flea market.
My GameStop is not like y'all's apparently.
No,
the last time I went in, I had ordered their convention exclusive Johnny Rico Funko Pop. They had like the bloody blood. The
Johnny
blood.
Rico, like Starship Troopers.
Yeah, he's all bloodied up with bug blood. It's all over the outside of the box.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I had to deliver to the store, and I went there to pick it up, and it was so bad. Like there were kids just throwing stuff on the ground, and I got my pop. And it's like, they're like 3 for $20, right? And I was like, there's nothing over there in your clearance section that's 3 for $20 that I want. Like I've got the pops that I want. I just came for this one. Yeah, but they're like 3 for $20, man. You could just get more. I was like, I do not want, like, they had the most random one.
Be a better salesman. Ring me up.
Nobody wants
leaving. Nobody.
Yeah, especially because the Funko. If you've got Funkos on clearance, ain't nobody want that shit. Yeah. So I got my package, and, like, there was this hassled mom in the back of the store on the phone. Her kid was just running around. It smelled like rotten Subway in there. The girl that was working there beside the guy was just on her phone texting the entire time. The TVs were like staticky, showing anything. They had game boxes on the floor. Like,
so, give us an idea. I don't want to put anybody on blast, as people like to say. But where is this GameStop? You don't have to tell me the street.
It's
where?
183 and 35 by the Walmart.
Oh,
Norwood. You know what I'm talking about. Because that used to be the only Walmart in my area.
Yeah.
Wait. The 183 and I-3. Dude, that is where all the AT&T and people work there around that area, and they all like
GameStop to me because I don't think there's one in Maynard because I know they have that strip store with all that stuff. I don't think there's a GameStop.
No, I don't think so. They have a Walmart, but no GameStop around there.
So that's my GameStop, y'all. It was like right Subway, and just people who don't give two craps that you walk to the store.
Well, I mean, 183 and 35 is kind of not a super great area anyway. So I'm
I was about to say you're not in a great place. I mean, you can watch a homeless guy empty out his pants from when he pooped in it there, and before you make a turn.
I could go to.
Go to the one on Palmer, man. Palmer and 35, that's the one in front of the Walmart. There's nice enough people there, that's for sure.
I think there's one on Bid White and 35 by Walmart.
Maybe.
But I've had horrible experiences there as well, because it's just like Norwood. And then the other one I know is in South Park Meadows, all the way down in South Austin. And that one used to suck hardcore. This, of course, right next to a Walmart.
Yeah. That's where you'll have to find them.
What about the one in the same shop, like right across the street from Dragon's Lair?
There's not a GameStop over there.
Yes, there is.
Next to a Walmart?
Yes,
there's a
Walmart.
Yes.
It's actually quite a good one.
There is one there. It's right next to the Walmart. I think I bought Halo 4 there years ago.
Yeah, and it's actually quite a nice one too. They weren't pressury or anything. We went and bought there. We got some My Hero Academia Funko, and a friend of mine my friend Nate got a Pro controller for the Switch.
Well, here's to hoping something really fun comes out of this in the long run. But that's been our show for today. We love talking with you guys about this topic. You'll catch us in 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about horror games. Because next week at this time, we're doing a fan service watch party of the new Witches movie. Harley's coming over. We're going to watch it live. And you guys can watch our reactions during it because I don't think I can stream it live, but it's on HBO Go, so you can just hit play with us. And we're gonna do some more of those as we go in the future. But yeah,
We also should thank everybody who is watching us on Plexstorm. Thank you guys for watching.
This was our first week on Plexstorm. Thank you guys for watching. I'm trying to figure out why we're not showing on Daily Motion because I cannot figure that shit out to save my life. But yes, everyone who watches where you're at, go to Twitch. Just watch about 15, 20 minutes. We're going to be playing Grounded all together, and I have someone else who might come play with us. So we'll have 4 people run around as little kids, getting sugar high, and battling fighters. So that's
going to be a good time.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Don't forget, next week, on Wednesday, we're going to be preparing our new Destiny show, and Thursday is the watch party and Harley watching witches. So, yeah. That's fun. So that's
all
it.
Right.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.